Well, hello there, and welcome back to my channel, The Tobacco Room. Today, I'm going to be talking about how to make ribbon cut pipe tobacco. Here I have a vacuum packed bag full of Samsung Turkish tobacco. It's been aging for at least 8 months and is smelling really nice. And the only tools you need to start are a plastic bag and a spritzer bottle. What I do is I take the leaves out and spritz them off 1 or 2 times with some water, place them in the plastic bag, and after about an hour or so, the leaves will absorb enough moisture to be ready to destem. Okay, after a shorter time than I thought, the tobacco is already ready to be destemmed. See how flexible and moist the stem is. And because there's not really a whole reason to destem the leaves in a pretty manner, since they're just going to be shredded anyway, we're not trying to make cigars or anything out of these leaves, I just simply pull the stem out like that, and you get what's known as frog legging a leaf. Looks like 2 legs of a frog. Now we just set those aside. They can just dry out a little bit more before we shred them. And I've got quite a few leaves to destem here. You can also just kind of pick the stem out like that. Set it aside and destem them all. So now I'm finished destemming, and you can see I've got quite a big pile of leaf here from that little vacuum packed amount. Smells amazing. And there's the stems I pulled out. I'll save those for making nasal snuff with later. So I got my little pile of moistened, flexible Samsung tobacco leaf here. And this is what I use to shred pipe tobacco with. It is a hand crank pasta machine. The handle comes on and off. You can get these a lot of places in kitchen supply stores, and the cut seems to be ideal. I don't know if you can see how wide these are, but I would say, it's about a 1 millimeter, 1.2 millimeter cut, and perhaps a little wider. I'm not entirely sure, but all I know is that it does make the perfect cut for pipe tobacco. So when you're ready, you just take your moistened leaf and feed it into the machine, and it comes out as small little strips on the bottom, like so. And that is how you shred the tobacco leaves for ribbon cut pipe tobacco. Now after you're done shredding all the leaves, they kind of come out in long spaghetti-like strings like this. So what I do is, after I've run it through once, I take it and I run it through again crosswise a second time to get a more fine cut. Exactly the kind of cut you want for the ribbon cut pipe tobacco that I'm going for. So here you can see the tobacco's been run through the pasta machine one time. You can see how stringy and spaghetti-like it looks. And this is what the tobacco looks like after 2 times through. You can see that it's much finer and essentially the perfect cut for ribbon cut pipe tobacco. So now what I want to do is I just want to spread this out on my tobacco table here so it can dry. It's far too moist to be put into jars at this point. So we just spread it out like this as much as possible and just let it air dry for a while. At this point, you can also spray it with some sugar water or some flavoring. This might go well with vanilla, for instance. But I don't think I'm going to case this tobacco. I think I'm going to leave it just as it is. I don't heavily case my tobaccos because I prefer the flavor of tobacco. I'm a tobacco lover, and I like to taste the different flavors of the different kinds of the tobaccos that I grow. And in that way, I kind of developed a more sophisticated palate for tobacco itself. At this point, there's nothing really left to do but just let it get fairly dry before putting it in a glass jar, labeling it, and letting it age for months to years. The longer you let it age, the more mellow and smooth the flavors become, and the more of a pleasure it is to smoke. Thank you very much for watching. Please give us a like and a share and a thumbs up. Do me a big favor and subscribe to the channel. I hope you got something out of it, and I look forward to seeing you again in the next video.